Hello, boys and girls. I just got back from watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 with my best friend from college. I spent the whole week rewatching every movie that the Guardians have been in, starting with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2, and then going over and watching Groot's First Steps, which is part of the Groot mini show. So then I watched the rest of the I Am Groot series. I can't think of all of those. There was like 6 of them though. Anyway, I watched that entire series. And then I watched Infinity War, Endgame. I watched Thor Love and Thunder last night. And then I finished off with the holiday special this morning before going to work. And then after work, my friend came and picked me up and we went straight to the AMC theaters, and we just got out of Volume 3. Here's a clip of our review on the way back from the movies while he was driving. I will cut to that now. What do you think?
It was really good.
Ranking wise.
Best one so far.
Yeah.
I definitely liked it more than Ant-Man. It's very emotional. It's very humorous, entertaining. The story is great. I love Rocket's whole story that
backstory. Yeah.
I love Star-Lord's progression of like dealing with the fact that like Gamora's gone, but not really. But then he like comes to accept it in the end. That's very good.
And I'm glad they decided to make Gamora a dick and not just like...
It was funny to see her switch roles with Nebula.
Yeah.
You know, because like in Nebula, like the first 2 movies, she was kind of, you know, an idiot. But now Gamora's that way, and Nebula's like, oh, I was like that, you know? And it was great to see that.
And I'm glad to see that Drax... Like, they kept calling him an idiot throughout the whole film, and I'm glad that he's finally getting some appreciation for.
I'm glad that
for the things he does.
Yeah, he's getting respect on his name, and that's what I love about my boy Drax. You know?
I just love this whole film.
Yeah,
like Groot's progression as well.
He's taking more leadership, more responsibility. Still sucks at flying, which I think is hilarious, but. You know, he's taking on more responsibility. He's more of a member, not just, you know, the guy that says I am Groot and punches people, you know?
Yep. And then Kraglin,
dude, I
love
learning
the arrows and stuff. Good for Sean Gunn, dude. And I am so excited to see what Sean Gunn pulls off in the actual DCU.
I think it's great for Kraglin because you see him go from, like, struggling to try to, like, take up the mantle that Yondu had. And like fully coming to terms with it and fully like accepting it as his own and being like, no, I have to follow my heart. And him doing that, it was just like, oh man, that's another emotional level. It's so sweet. It's so wonderful. I love it. Cosmo, I love to see more of Cosmo actually being like a character that has a pivotal role in this. Was wonderful.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna see more of Cosmo in the holiday special, because of the way the trailer set it up,
right?
But and I'm glad we did get to see her more in this film, but I hope she comes back because I love Cosmo so much.
Was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And with her and Kraglin together, like they make the perfect duo.
Yeah. I also want to talk about Adam Warlock.
Yes.
Adam Warlock killed it. It was like, oh my gosh. I love to see like his progression of being like, oh, I'm going to hunt them down. I'm going to kill them. To being like,
yeah.
This is what family is supposed to look like. You know, that whole, oh my goodness. Yeah. I grew, when I first saw him, I was like, oh my gosh, we're starting off with this. And then like, I just got happy every time he was on screen. And to know that like where he ends up in the end is like where he is, it makes my heart happy.
Yeah.
It makes my heart happy.
Yeah.
So So
when I first heard that Adam Warlock was going to be in this film, I was so pumped. And then I heard that Will Poulter was going to play.
yeah, right.
And that, like, I wasn't sure about that because I didn't really like Will Poulter's characters in either the Maze Runner or the Narnia films.
Yeah.
I just thought both characters were, like, really annoying and ignorant characters.
Well, that's the thing. He was given ignorant characters, and he did well with them. And so I was glad to see him step into a role that was not that.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad that they did make him Adam Warlock, because him as Adam Warlock being still the awkward group, like the awkward person of every group, is just so fitting. Like, yeah, Adam Warlock was great. Lila, though. I loved seeing Lila in this film as part of Rocket's backstory.
Yeah.
But I was wishing that we would have got a little bit more of Lila and the other friends.
Yeah.
Which maybe we will. You know, I don't know.
I don't think so. You know,
I don't know. Like, we could see Guardians. We could not see other Guardians in the future. You know, it all depends.
Yeah.
Like,
All right, welcome back. Well, that was kind of his side of things. It's a great ending to this chapter of the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's very emotional. Some scenes are very gruesome and violent things we've got in the MCU, but I loved that about this movie, because those dark and gruesome moments were needed to tell the story that James Gunn was telling. Of course, all the music choices were phenomenal as always. James Gunn just has a way of putting the perfect song with the perfect scene and what he's trying to tell within that scene. Like, even the action scenes and the music that starts those certain scenes, like, it's just a perfect fit. He always has the music in mind while he's writing the script, and you can tell from the performances of the actors that they're actually listening to the song. He plays the songs out loud while they're filming, and that's great. I love that about James Gunn, and I hope he sticks with that while working on DC. I'm excited to see what he pulls off at DC. And the MCU, Marvel's gonna have to put up a fight, because DCU is coming, and there's gonna be a lot of really great films, I hope. Anyway, enough about DC. This is Guardians of the Galaxy talk. I'm ecstatic. The emotional connections between... what am I trying to say? Just the way that the Guardians have grown together and have learned to work with each other, and they actually adore and love each other. Like, you can actually feel that in this film. And every time a new screen partner comes up, like whether it be Peter Quill and Groot, or Mantis and Drax, or Nebula and Peter Quill, or Cosmo and Kraglin, or Rocket with any of the other Guardians, or the new Gamora with Nebula, or the new Gamora with Peter Quill, like, just any of it. Somehow it works. It's just a ragtag group of misfits. Alright, well, that will be it for the non-spoiler section. And I'm going to lead into the spoiler section now. So in 3, 2, 1, spoiler section. The beginning song, actually, Creep. With Rocket just starting out listening to the song Creep. Like, that's the perfect setup. Like, you're a creep, you're a weirdo, that's the way everyone sees you, that's the way you see yourself, and you need to learn to have self-respect. And everyone does by the end of this film. Everyone has that earning, and they taught themselves that they needed to respect themselves, and that they needed to love themselves. Like James Gunn has always said, the first one's about the mother, second one's about the father, the third one's about self. And I love that. And I felt that. Like them starting out with the song Creep and then ending with the song that we started the entire trilogy with at the beginning of Guardians 1. Like, oh my gosh, what an ending. I can feel myself getting emotional just by thinking about everything we've been through with the Guardians. With Peter Quill's whole backstory, him losing his mom, getting sucked up into space immediately, then trained to be a thief, and then he runs into this ragtag group of misfits, and he finally has a family, and then he loses the most important person. And then with Rocket, he wasn't even asked to be made. He was someone else's project. Someone else's subject. He wasn't even asked to be made, except he was. And somehow he found a group of friends with Lila and Floor and Teeths. With those three, he had his first family, and then he lost those, and he got a new family. And then at the end of this film, he learned that he needed to stop running away, actually stand up and charge into action and take down the person that created him. So beautiful. And then he gets his family again at the end, and everyone goes and lives perfect lives. Anyway, that was my take. The music was beautiful. The story was beautiful. The cinematography and the graphics, my lord, those were just out of this world. This is literally my favorite trilogy of the MCU so far. It always has been. Guardians, the first two Guardians films have always been like at the top of my MCU list. Yeah. So this whole trilogy means a lot. Yeah. So that's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna kick it back off to the spoiler section now.
My thing right now is what are they going to do moving forward? That's the question that's going on in my head right now. What's going to happen moving forward? It seems like, Peter and, he's going to be on Earth, and it seems like what I could see happening, this is my kind of theory, is that he'll be on Earth for a little while. They'll bring him in for like an Easter egg or a cameo or for some offshoot movie or show or whatever. He'll appear in that. Then we'll be hush-hush for a little while. Then we'll have Guardians 4, which will start off with the team that we have now, and them being like, okay, yeah, we need Peter, or like Peter being like, okay, guys, I'm back. What do we need to do?
And I think that's how like, since we're going into spoiler territory, I think that's how James Gunn is setting it up. Like, you could tell in this film that, you know, yes, he wanted to break up the group and give them time to breathe and, like, learn about themselves. Right. I mean, the first one was supposed to be about Peter's mom. Right. And then the second one was about his dad. And this one was about
his grandfather.
Well, no.
It was about
it was about self.
Yeah.
Like Rocket and Peter learning about themselves.
And
pretty much everyone in the group learning about themselves.
And realizing that they had to stop running away from the thing that they fear.
Yes. You know, yes. Like, this third movie was supposed to be about self, but now, like, the next time we see Star-Lord, he'll actually learn about his mom some more and that side of the family. Like, since he's not been on Earth this entire time, he'll actually learn about his grandfather and that side of the family. And then I think, yeah, like you said, I think, well, Rocket's the leader now, so, yeah, like, they set it up where we will see the Guardians again.
Yeah.
People are just, you know, before this movie came out, people were saying, you know, everyone was gonna die. Which, you know, I was trying to see who, like, I was thinking myself, who in this film's gonna die. I knew it wasn't gonna be Rocket, because Rocket, like, this whole movie was about Rocket. That would be dumb to kill him at the end. And then Star-Lord, we've been through so much. I could have seen them killing off Star-Lord eventually. And I could have seen...
I honestly thought that they were, honestly.
Yeah, and I could have seen them killing off, like, Drax, too. But since they are setting it up, like, it doesn't need to be James Gunn directing the next few films.
No.
He just wanted this as his trilogy. Now he's moving on to DCU and better projects.
And I think
now they're going to bring in someone else.
And I think they're at a good place for it, too. Because now, like, their story has been complete.
Yeah.
It's finished. Whoever picks it up will bring in a new story that's fresh, something that's going to still impact them, but isn't really built on something that's already been laid out, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing they'll have to build on is the team that James Gunn just left him with. But even then, like, they could still switch up and, like, split that, like, giant Groot or Rocket or Cosmo and Kraglin. I could see those four staying. But, like, the pet and the little girl they had and stuff, like, they could change that up still. It's not solid.
Yeah.
They could still change up whatever they want to do. And if they wanted to bring, like, Mantis and Drax back, they could, or Nebula, or even have a solo story of Gamora with the Ravagers. Yeah.
That would be
that would be great.
Yeah.
Oh, the cameos. We didn't cover the cameos. I loved... People have been dogging on James Gunn all week about him putting his wife and all of his friends in his films.
Yeah.
Why? That's been going on in the Hollywood industry this entire time.
Oh, yeah.
Look at Adam Sandler. Like, all his films are just his friends. So seeing Nathan Fillion and then, I can't ever think of James Gunn's wife's name.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of her name. But seeing those two, as well as, you know, Michael Rooker and Sean Gunn and everyone else that's already in this, like, great. Yeah. I love seeing Nathan Fillion in this.
For me, whenever it comes to, like, directors putting in their friends or family, as long as the story's good and the acting's good and it's not just like a cash grab, you know, then I don't mind. I don't care, you know. Just do good and I'm happy, you know. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was our review. What did you rank it?
Oh, rank it?
Like, rate it. 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10.
For me, this one's probably a 9. The first one would be like a 9 as well, and then the second one an 8.5. I'd say.
See, I put this at like 8.5. Third one would be like an 8. This first one would be 9.
You mean the second one at an 8 and the first one? Yeah. So first 9.
Second one, 8, and then this one 8.3
yeah,
or 8.5. Yeah.
No, I think the first and second. I think this one and the first one were probably about the same for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's very close. I think
I'll keep them both at 9.
The problem with putting them both at 9 for me is that we've lost the charm of the Guardians of the Galaxy, because of the first one, it's like, this is the first time that we're seeing anything like this, you know, and it's very fresh with us. This one, they had to change, or with the second one, they didn't really do anything different. With the third one, they had to they expounded on it, which made it better.
I think the issue there is Marvel's following James Gunn's concept.
Yeah.
Because if you look, like, Guardians was the first space adventure, then they had the second one.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if you look at Phase 5, what we were just talking about, it's Ant-Man and the Quantumania.
Yep.
It's this one, Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
It's Marvel's. And then it's also Thor Love and Thunder.
Yep.
That's 4 space adventures in one phase. So I don't think that it's a problem with James Gunn and his theme. I think that Marvel is just following the theme too much and going to space too much, that it pulls us out of...
yeah, that's completely fair. And so, which I did appreciate them doing the flesh thing. Like, oh my gosh, that was so weird.
Yeah.
But it still made it fresh and new, and that's why I really appreciated this more than the last. Because
this one, we did get a lot more violence and gruesome in this one.
Gosh,
so,
it was very violent.
I do like that.
I
because James Gunn, like, after the Suicide Squad, I was like, okay, I'm ready for his DC, but Marvel will never let him get this dark.
Yeah.
And they did.
They
let him get close enough.
Yeah.
So, alright. Well,
alright. I hope you guys enjoyed that long review of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 between my friend and I. Let us know how you thought of this review. Leave us some comments. Maybe like this video. Go check out his channel over at SpiderMonkey or SpiderMonkey 7480. You should be able to find it with either one. He doesn't post that often now, but we did have a really old Minecraft series that we used to play together. So if you want to ever check those out, they're on both of our channels. But I'm trying to get him to come on and do more reviews with me when we go to movie theaters. Or, I don't know, maybe sometime I can get him on here to do a reaction with me. Like a movie reaction that we've never seen or something. Yeah, until then, hope you guys enjoyed this. Please leave a like if you liked it. Leave us some comments down below. Tell us what you thought of the Guardians of the Galaxy films, or what you thought of our reaction, and I will see you guys next time.